Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on the 2024 Jayflight SLX 260 BH travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around this, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for this awning. On your off campsite, no slides to worry about. But I do want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be just above your tire, and then your water, same thing, just ahead of that. So both in similar area, just above your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Park accordingly so you can utilize facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. Your power tongue jack has a night docking light. Should you arrive at night, simply retract to lower, extend, or raise. Now, should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper right here, your hand crank, which will fit here as well as your stabilizing jacks, will get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggling loose over time. Got our unit level. Let's go ahead and stabilize it. Power tongue jack don't work. Power shuts the power off when I hit it. Alright, so once we got our unit level, next thing we do is stabilize it. All four corners of your unit have these scissor stabilizing jacks. 3/4 inch socket. Put that on here and run these down just until they're taut. Now I'm going to recommend some stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, keep them from sinking into the hot blacktop at some campsites in the summer. Just really good investment. Use your 10% off coupon. Grab a 4-pack of them. Put them down here and run these down just until they're taut. Remember, our unit's already level, so all we want to do is bring this down just until we've got some resistance on our hand crank. Get all 4 of them down. Got our unit level and stable. Here's your rear ones. Now we hook up our power and water. Big long 30 amp cord. Plugs in here in the side. The way these go in here, they go in, say, at 11 o'clock, turn it to noon, and then put on this black washer. Now, should you need to plug into a 110, in your convenience pack is a 30 to 15 amp reducer. And plug you into a 110, put that on the other end of that. Power hooked up, let's do our water. At campsites, we're going to hook up 2 city water connections. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. It's going to protect the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use these when putting fluid in your unit. Hook that up. Hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located over on the campsite. And all we're doing is making sure that this knob, which is your pressure release valve, is down. This lever is down just as it is right there. That way no water is going to come up out of that when we turn that hose on. Now we can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now we're going to come up inside our unit. We're going to get to our sink, turn on our water till we get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water. Same thing in our shower and our sink in the bathroom. Turn them on, open them up, get a nice steady flow of water through everything, shut them off, and you're all set to camp with your water there. Now let's say we're going to go camping. Now we're going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. That is located just over on your off campsite again, just to the right of your furnace flue. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can simply gravity fill this with the hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on this while you're filling it. Don't leave it unattended. Once it's full, put this cap back on here, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp with power and water. Let me walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing here on your off camp side. Big pass-through storage area. Stabilizing jack. Again, your flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of it. It does get hot. And they do make bug guards that you can put over those as well. Again, our fresh water, which means right there is going to be your fresh water drain. City water connect. A vent for your hood, your furnace, or excuse me, your stove top inside. Power. You have a hot and cold shower out here. 751 kilo. Lock that. This is your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks when leaving the campsite. There's your regular low point drain. There's where you plug in your cable at the campsite. Spare tire with a cover. I highly recommend leaving this cover on here. It keeps your tire from dry rotting in the sun. You're prepped for a ladder here. You also are prepped for a backup camera. Device you can purchase. One part sits on the dash of your tow vehicle. The other part attaches to this, giving you a backup camera for the unit. Come down to campsite. Again, our hot water heater. That is on. You'll turn that on indoors once your unit is full of water. Your awning does have a pitch adjust. Pull down on this, and that will tilt that for light rainwater. These are recommended as shade awnings. Can leave them out in the light rain, but I highly recommend bringing them in a heavy rain or heavy wind. Definitely in some heavy winds. Now here, we have a huge storage area. Stays up by magnet. A couple outdoor speakers. You set a TV out here because you got a couple of 110s and cable. And you can use that 110 to set a table out here and do some cooking. Coming up our campsite, there's your hitch work. The other side of your pass-through storage. Your propane does have a cover and a regulator. So lefty-loosey to open. Just point it toward the tank you wish to be using. About covers everything out here. Go take a look on the inside. Coming up your unit, one thing I want to point out behind these steps is you want to have this exterior door all the way open, otherwise this will catch on it when it comes out. As soon as you get inside the unit is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows your fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway. Just to the right of that, and the back of that dinette is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Up top here is where we check the levels of our gray, black, fresh, and battery. The freshwater buttons, one I said to hold down when filling up the potable water. Here's where you turn on the water pump to get to that potable water. Awning control. You don't want to run that out until that flap falls down and you see that bar. If I would continue to hold that extract down, you see it starts to run itself up backwards onto itself. So when you're running it out, only run it out as far as you need to. Keep an eye on it when you're running it out. Next to that is going to be our awning light and our interior lights. We'll tell you that slam locks work best when gently slammed. Got a couple of charging ports here. But you know your tabletop will wiggle up off there. Move them legs. Put the tabletop around there. Flat cushions on top gives you another sleeping quarters. You are prepped for a TV up here. Backer in the wall. 110, 12 volt cable. This is your antenna. Make sure that's pressed in. Sound system here. Dual zoned. Try to pick up a channel here.
Oh, yes. Oh, my Lord.
So shuttle off indoors. You can hear it outdoors there. AM, FM, Bluetooth.
Oh, no, or it's that. Do the other
Hold that in to shuttle off. Here's your cables for your TV. Right here, next is our thermostat. I'm going to go ahead and crank your air up. Put it high with the cool. I should crank that air up here. I want to show you this has a quick dump. Right now it's blasting through all of these. But if you open this up, Nice blast of cool air in here. Shut that off. It'll normally shut off rather quickly. The AC units do. As we're waiting for that one to come off. There it goes. Now we're going to go to heat. We should say furnace. You'll hear that kick on. Now, you will notice that when I shut that off, it does take a few minutes for that to cycle through and shut off. One touch lighting here. You do have access to the outdoor storage under this bunk. Plumbing. Keep an eye on your plumbing. It's mostly PEX nowadays. Real easy to maintain. Square head screw. We'll get this access panel off here so you can keep an eye on your plumbing. If you travel a lot in this trailer and bounce it up and down the road a lot, just might want to check on fittings. In our bathroom, there's our light. This is where we would turn on our hot water heater once that is full. We do have a hand open exhaust here. Fridge, it's very self-explanatory. Controls there. Our microwave. Light and fan above our cooktop. These tops make a nice backsplash. Fold that back. Turn on your panel light. Turn this over to light. Hit your spark, and that's how these ones light up. Your oven, you will have to get inside and make sure that the pilot light, let me shut these off. Make sure when you put this to pilot, hit your spark here, make sure that it lit. You rock this panel light down, it gives you an oven light. And then you just turn that to your desired temperature. Make sure you put that back down for traveling. Again, more plumbing to maintain. There's your access to it. 110 with GFCI reset. A couple charging ports. You have cup holders or yet another place to sleep. Coming back, we've got our smoke alarm in the ceiling. These are all one-touch lighting. Prep for a TV here with cable of 110. This is where it is wired for solar. So if you ever decided to get this wired for solar, that's where the panel is for the techs to know. So if anything, just cover this with a painting, but try to keep that there so you know where that's at. Emergency exit window here, and lots of storage under your bed held up by hydraulics. Alright, that about covers everything in here. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. So normally what I would do is go through and shut off all of my lights. So make sure all vents are closed. Tops down. I would shut off all these lights. Now I can see all the accent lighting to shut off. I'll leave this up, leave these on for a moment. But secure everything for travel. Doors and drawers is what I like to say. Go through the unit. Make sure you have all doors and drawers closed and nothing's gonna bounce out as you're traveling down the road. And we'd exit our unit. Again, on these steps, we want to make sure this exterior door is all the way open. These are adjustable. Just have cotter pins to pull there. Set this up in there. That'll help lock it in. Now, before we leave the dump station, I say that because we're going to go inside here and look at our tank levels as we're dumping. Before we leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt, then lift and turn that handle. That's how you want that handle for travel. All right. If we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Come over here to our freshwater drain, which is right up underneath our freshwater tank. Pull that white handle there. Get rid of all that water. Hook up our hitch and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we're going to hook our power, our water, our cable, bring up the stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be all the way at the rear of the unit on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. We'll hook that up and pull our black handle, black holding tank. That's going to be your sewage. And it sounds like it's no longer draining. Check inside, make sure it shows empty or close to it. Come back out here, leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station and hook it up to this tank flush. Turn that on for a good 5 minutes. Let that wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that water that you just put in there has drained, and then close your black and pour your gray. While my grays are draining, I like to go ahead and dump my low point drains. When them are all done, we're going to close our gray, remove this sewage hose, and conveniently, more importantly sanitarily, store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Jayflight for many years to come. Happy camping.